Sharice, founder of the Girl Rethought Project, and this is the Women Leaders Project.
Hi, I'm MarketSmith, founder of MarketSmith, iPredictus, and One More Smith, and this is the Women's Leaders Project.
Everyone desires to achieve their own definition of success. And so what we did, because that how to be successful is so tough sometimes to figure out, we created the acronym where to succeed in life is you date. And I know it sounds crazy, but to date is simply to decide that whatever you want in life is what you'll get because you'll be willing to get there. To A, acquire the knowledge it takes to get there, and then take some action once you have that knowledge. T, of course, tackle every obstacle because there will be more obstacles than you can imagine. And then E, every day do something. So how did you make a decision? Because you have done some pretty amazing things, if I must say so myself. How did you decide where you are today? How did you get here?
First, I don't know that everybody wants success.
Very true.
I don't know that. I think it's a shame, but I'm not sure everybody realizes it's their right.
True.
But how did I get here?
Yeah.
I think because I didn't have a choice, really. You know, I was very fortunate that I had a couple good jobs coming out of college, but I just didn't fit in any of them in a corporate world. I was exposed to really great people, really smart people, very entrepreneurial people. But when I worked for somebody else, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel great.
I know that feeling.
You know? And it wasn't their fault. I just felt like there was something unfulfilled. And so I was lucky enough to get fired because I decided to come out. And I got fired immediately because of that. And so here I am, pretty young, and I was, you know, I had about 35 direct reports, great salary. I commuted between Tarrytown and Minneapolis every week.
Wow.
And I was, all of a sudden, the next day, I woke up and I had nowhere to go. I had nothing to do. So I decided, well, I'm going to turn on the TV. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? This is a very true story. Turned it on, and it was a black and white John Wayne movie. And I literally watched it for about 45 seconds. And then I said, nope, I can't do that. So I got up, took a shower, got myself dressed, and sat at my desk at my house. And within 3 weeks, I started my first company.
Wow. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Wow. That is amazing.
So that's what I did.
Yeah, and it was literally do or die.
I didn't have a choice. I had a mortgage, and I mean, there was money in the bank because I never took a vacation or anything like that. I didn't realize that there was a life to live,
Yeah.
but I also wasn't happy in the life I had. Even though I had a lot of things for somebody at my age, I just didn't feel fulfilled. So I said, well, what is it going to take to be fulfilled?
Awesome.
So that's how I started a company.
That is amazing. And that was MarketSmith?
That was MarketSmith 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
So then, okay, so I know you said, of course, you went to college and you said you had some pretty great jobs coming out of college, but you have to still, even in those jobs, acquire some knowledge. So what did you do to acquire the knowledge that it took to even start a company in 3 weeks? So what
I
did
think, first of all, outstanding question. Outstanding question. So here's the truth. I started a company called Walden Books, which was a entrepreneurial, upstart, independent book company acquired by, at the time, Kmart. And, you know, they were hiring and firing people, and here I was, this gal that ends up in this position, and the entire department got eliminated. It was a $10 million, in 1990 company, $10 million division, and they said, oh, you run it. I'm 21, and I can't spell. So it's just like, I'm like, and I'm not corporately savvy. So what I did was I started to go through the Rolodex of the gal left who was in the office before me, and started to call every single person in the Rolodex and ask them what they did and what was their influence there.
Smart.
So I started to create allies, because then everybody's like, oh, look at this dumb chick that she has no idea we're going to jump on this train, right? And so they started to come and visit and tell me, and I was learning about what I was supposed to know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing. And then the second thing is, I was living with my brother, my eldest brother, and his wife. They were very, very successful. And I was having dinner at the table, and he says, "Why are you so sad?" And I was just like, "Because I don't know what I'm doing." And he simply looked up at me and he said, "Read." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Read. You work for a book company. You're surrounded by the knowledge you need." And so from that moment, there was this extraordinarily large room full of books that were free. I went into all of the books regarding business,
Mm-hmm.
self-help,
Mm-hmm.
the power to achieve, and I just read constantly. And that was how I acquired the knowledge. So between talking to people
Mhm.
and books, and I stayed in trial and error, and trust me, there was trial and there was error.
Yeah.
That's how I got through. And those books changed everything for me. Changed everything. So I tell people here all the time, you have to read.
You do. Agree.
You have to read, you have to listen, because those voices of those folks, they're telling you their stories,
Mm-hmm.
and why not? It's like history.
Yeah.
And we learn from that, right? That's what we do as the American people have gotten so successful from history.
Studying history.
That's right.
The
And
best
so
people study themselves.
that's right. So
And others.
and so then I just listened to I listened to Les Gore, Bill Byrne, you just name them, Tony Robbins, the ones that you heard about and the ones you haven't. And I read everybody's story, and it changed my life.
That's awesome. So then, now after you read, because I'm a firm believer in reading. And you said something about failure. And what I tell youth and adults now is, what you have to understand is failure is not truly failure. Failure is merely greatness in its infancy. You just haven't yet gotten there. But the more you fail, eventually you will fail right into what it is you're supposed to get to. So once you had the knowledge, so you acquired all this knowledge, what action did you take?
Well, look, I think that, it's kind of like when it rains on your wedding day, right? People say, "Oh, it's good luck." Nobody really gets that, right? So the idea of failure is that I even think the word just freaks people out.
It does.
I just think life is life. You're going to have good days and bad days, and if you can take the learnings of the things that went right,
Mm-hmm.
and you replicate them, that'll be great. If you take the things that didn't go your way, and you try to understand why they didn't go your way, and ensure that when you see it coming, that it doesn't happen again, right? So I'm just one of those people that is terribly uncomfortable in pain. I just don't like things that are unhappy. So so that becomes a theme. It's just like, let's just be happy.
Makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's only things that make me happy. Things are tough, right?
Yeah.
But if joy is part of the total algorithm of what you're trying to achieve, if you sit saying joy must be at least 75% of my life,
Mm-hmm.
then replicating pain is not. Like if you drink too much and you have a hangover in the morning, right? So let's not do that again tomorrow.
Yeah.
For me. For me.
Everyone.
Right? But, so I just kind of sat there and said, look, I don't have it right on everything, but I have it enough to know that, okay, I shouldn't repeat that again. I also have been fortunate enough not to repeat the stuff I've learned about from other people.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that I'm going to come back to reading again,
Yeah.
the fact that I read about other people's failures in business, in their marriage, in their spiritual life, in how they viewed the moments of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
I just said to myself, hey, listen, that's a learning moment. I don't need to repeat that. So I look at other people's challenges or failures or shortcomings as a way of also saying they could be potentially mine. So I kind of take them with me.
Smart. Very smart. Very smart. So now, we've gotten through two of them. You made a decision, you acquired the knowledge it took to get there, and you took some action. Now, let's talk about obstacles. tackling every obstacle. Now, you have done some amazing things. You are the 5th fastest growing female-led technology company. You are on Inc.'s 500 list. You are just amazing. You've experienced over 1,000% growth in 3 years. How have you tackled every obstacle? Because there have been obstacles, I'm sure. So how have you tackled them?
Well, I think, first of all, what I tell everybody when they say about, the growth and all of that, I feel like I'm the oldest contestant on American Idol. Like that's what my life feels like right now. It's taken me 15 years to become an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
So the obstacles, when you talk about the journey to success, what's your greatest obstacle? It's yourself.
Yeah, very true.
Right? So the key is how did I overcome me? The limitations of me.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the limitations of me? It's mental strength, right? It's endurance, and it's spiritual.
Very true.
Okay, so what I just said to myself is one is what is success? What
Define it for yourself.
What is success, and what stops me from getting there? So for some people, obstacles come in the form of time, energy, money, ideation, and some obstacles come in the form of gender, race, sexual identification, all of those things. And I just said to myself, well, okay, here's the thing. I don't really care about certain obstacles. I don't care about the gender thing. I don't care that it might not be the most fashionable, and I don't care if people care about my lifestyle. So I just took those out.
That's good to separate what matters.
So I just said I took those out, and things began to flourish. I'm like, okay, well, what if I don't care that I'm going to fail more than I'm going to succeed? What happens when I stop caring about how many times I'm going to fail? Then just realize that I will fail and I will succeed, and that is life. More positive things happened.
You have no idea how that is profound. You just made a decision.
More's coming.
Yeah.
Ask me the next question.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's a me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is we want to be loved.
Of course, and that's a
right?
universal human thing.
Right? And we want to be and we want to be understood.
Yes.
Okay.
Also universal.
Right? So I said to myself, okay, well, let me work with my existing union to say, these are the things I want. Does it resonate with you? Are you willing to sacrifice? Could you do this with me? And
a partner.
Yeah.
Partner.
Yeah. And when Amy checked the box and said, yeah. I mean, she wasn't thrilled about that I wanted 100 kids, but but if you have a great partner, and you apply first that the partnership is more important than anything else. That you say, look, if you fail enough times and you end up in a brown box under the George Washington Bridge, but that's the person you choose. If you can say yes to that, what's left, right? I've already said I don't care if things are not going to go the way that the vision of Vogue.
Yeah.
Right? Or how you win every client opportunity, but at the end of the day, you're happy.
That's what matters most.
So right now, I'm kind of living that dream of my dream.
Yes.
Which is, look, I love the people I work with. Love the woman at home. Love that I've got the kids. Love that I've got a bunch of businesses.
That are doing well.
Not every day.
And that's okay too.
Right? And not every day. Not every day. I mean, people fall down, things fall apart. Technology is tough, raising money is tough. These are all tough things.
Yeah.
So if you sit there and say, okay, it's not about having a bad day, it's a bad moment.
Yes.
That's how I kind of eliminate those rest of those obstacles. And look, I'm not superhuman. Literally yesterday I had a meeting with somebody for 2 hours, and I wanted it to be X, and it was really Y. And I could feel myself depleted from that, right? And then I said I had to work a bunch of hours. I was leaving here late at night. And I had a guy here who said to me, what's wrong with you? I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, that was a good meeting. And I said, well, it wasn't what I wanted. It's a great opportunity. He goes, pick yourself up. We're going to tighten our belts and we're going to get this done. Yeah. And I just said, gosh,
you're right.
How lucky am I at my moment, at my lowest moment where I would have gone to bed and said, you know what, I don't think we should be doing this. It's too much risk.
Yeah.
How much risk can we take? Somebody, it was a door, right? It was somebody saying, powers that be, somebody surrounding you that said, we're going to make this happen. And so I just said, I picked up the phone and I said, all right, let's acquire a company.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
we're done. We're done now.
We just solved it.
Exactly. So now, last thing, and I truly want to thank you so much for all the time that you've given to us today and for your amazing hospitality. But if you could describe yourself in 6 words,
oh, come on,
what would it be? Just 6. And if you can't do that, then if you could say something to your younger self, what would it be? Talking to your younger self, what would you say to you?
Come on. Did I know these questions were coming?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 6 words would be.
No worries, that's fine.
I don't know. I mean, I know I did see that. I did see that question. I don't know what 6 words are.
That's fine. Then we can do talking to your younger self.
How about it's like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, don't even.
Have I done anything in 6 words yet? I don't think
You're fearless, you're audacious, you're a hard worker. The words like
yeah,
that.
I'm definitely a hard worker.
Yes, I can tell.
And I would definitely say I'm audacious. I'm fierce more so than anything else. I'm happy.
That is something that a lot of people can't say. That they're
I'm
happy.
really happy.
Happiness is, I say that's primary. Happiness is
Oh my
primary.
God, it's great.
It is. So then, if you had to tell your younger self.
What other words? Any other words you want to throw out of me? You're very helpful.
You're motivated.
Motivated.
So we've got motivated, we've got audacious,
Fierce.
we've got fierce. I love fierce.
Happy.
Hardworking.
Hardworking, and beautiful.
Funny.
Funny is true.
I'll take funny.
Funny is very true.
Compassionate as well.
I'm compassionate today. Let's not go any further. We don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, so let's just not bank on that one.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it.
No,
Well,
this has
thank
been.
you so
Oh, was there any other question I needed to ask? Because I love the camera, so let's not roll this up if we have to. We don't have to. No, I'm just kidding. No, there was one. Wasn't there one other thing? Would say something to my younger self?
Oh yes, if you could tell your younger self anything, what would it be?
Oh, don't sweat it.
Don't sweat
It
it.
gets better.
It
gets better.
That's-
It gets so better.
that's-
And let me just tell you something. One other younger. Love your 20s. That's what I had to say.
When they're
Love
gone.
your 20s, and then enjoy your 30s,
Mhm.
and know that the 40s is just that gets to a whole different place. But love the decade you're in.
Yeah.
Love
it
the
where you're at.
Yeah, because it's just don't sweat it.
Don't sweat it. I like that. So to our younger selves, don't sweat it.
Don't sweat it.
Don't
right?
sweat it. Perfect.
All right.
Well, I do want to thank you guys so much for joining us here today. Remember, no matter what has been, you create what will be. And in the creation of what will be, don't forget to tell yourself every single day, I am possible, simply because you are.